You know, I'm very tired of explaining myself personally. You know, if I had money to sit on, motherfucker, I would not be fucking working. Well, yes, well, the first year I would be working because I would have my money in the bank so that it can grow. You know, but after that year, shit, I'm living good. You know, during my experience with being an at-home stay mom, I understand struggle. I understand budgeting. You know, I understand, you know, not needing so much. I understand recycling. So, I mean, shit. I get me a nice space, I would be chilling. You know, I could accommodate, and, you know, it would be all about my son. I would be so free to be his personal mentor for the rest of his life until I die. You know, I would, that's what I'm, you know, I would love to do that. But I have to be in a position to do that. Now, I don't know how my life is going to be. You know, I feel like for black people, you know, we just don't know. It's a lot of shit that we don't know about living. It's, you know, I feel like we're just so egotistical, and I can only talk about black people because I'm black. You know, so, you know, I don't know what it's like for white people. You know, I've been around white people. I've grown up with white people, but I'm black. Majority of my experiences have been black. Black people, you know, we don't know, you know, a lot of us are not willing to come outside of our box. It's all about the grind. It's all about the hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's all about trying to get out of the slums. I understand that part, right? But at the same time, I don't know. You hear motherfuckers talking about how they want to travel. They travel just to do the same shit that they do back at home. I don't know. Motherfuckers is not going over to Egypt trying to get in touch with their past lives. They're not trying to go to libraries and read books on shit that you're not going to get from school. You know, it's kind of like we don't come outside of our box, and we spend so much time focused on that racist shit to the point to where it's like we got a point to prove that we're just as good as white people, if not better, or some shit like that. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of living. I want my son to live. I want him to travel. You know, I want to expand his mind. You know, I can tell that he has past life ties to the Hispanic culture, you know, so I'm trying to, you know, I want to go to Mexico and kind of see what's up with him with that. You know, I want to see the ruins. I want him to see shit like that. I want to take him to see the pyramids. You know, I want to take his ass to Tokyo or some shit. You know, my grandmother is Japanese. I want to go to Japan. I want him to experience that with me too. You know, I want to teach him about living. I don't want to just throw him to the world. Here you go, son. Figure it out. You know, like, no. He is a gift to me. He will always be a gift. So, I mean, you know, of course, I do want him to figure out what he wants to do with his life. You know, I want him to open up his mind to getting out the fucking matrix, but at the same time, he's on the spectrum. You know, so my biggest thing is I want him to live his life. I want him to live a beautiful life, a life of, you know, different experiences, you know, for a while, just for a while, you know, and I want to be able to teach him how to balance out, you know, working, being responsible, having a job, but at the same time, understanding it's not all about the paper chase. It's not all about the paper chase. Don't get caught up like everybody else, and you out here, you God, you ain't living. You done died. You done died at the age of fucking 22 years old. And for the rest of your life, you just out here zombie. Come on, man. I want to teach him how to heal himself. You know, using nature. I want him to experience, you know, not having so many of the conveniences. I want to teach him creative living, you know. I don't ever want to get stuck in a certain place. I just want to bring variety to him. I want him to have fun with his life. You know, life is such a bigger picture. It's so much to explore. It's so much to be grateful for. It's so much to see. It's so much to discover. Even outside of the world, there's so much to discover. But, you know, I know I need to pump the brakes a little bit. You know, There's nothing wrong with being black and black people, you know, like it's just, I see the pattern of our people, from the way we eat, from the way that we live, from the way in which, you know, how we treat each other, how we treat family, how we treat friends, all of that shit. It's just, that should be toxic as fuck. It's like, damn, like we don't know. And then when you meet black people who are not typical black people, so they say, you know, like, oh, you're a sellout, you're an Uncle Tom ass motherfucker, you know, you're this, you're that, you know, like, well, for one, if they grew up in a different environment, of course, it's the same thing for a white person, you know, growing up, you know, they had white people out in the hood, you know, and they grew up with the culture. It's not a facade, you know, and then you have people to where it's just like, you know, that motherfucker grew up around black people, and it's kind of like, then you're going to turn around and say, oh, you trying to be black, you trying to be black. But they grew up in the culture, so you can't say that. This shit just be so ignorant, man. That shit is disturbing as fuck to me, you know, like, that's why I be trying to chill. That's why I be trying to chill, focus on creating happiness for myself, and just trying to, you know, create more relaxation for the brain, because they got it twisted out here. And then you know, from personal experiences, you see how black people, you know, they come up and they make it, and it seems like they are even worse than what they were when they were struggling trying to make it. Then you start finding out that they got a whole bunch of fucking issues. There's a lot that comes with success, and I feel like that's for anybody. You know, more money, more problems. You know, who can I trust? Who's really here around? Who's really here for me? You know, like, where's the fucking love? It seems like I'm such a provider. Motherfuckers done forgot how to love me. You know, now I'm just some type of fucking bank or some shit. You know, like, I be seeing a lot of shit. I'm trying to, you know, I be trying to break free out of that shit. It's mental patterns. It's mental. It's like a cage, mental cage. No, don't cage me in. You know, I understand that there are times to where I need to be tamed, because even when it comes to freedom, you know, you can lose control. It's about the harmony. It's about the balance, you know. And I just be trying to make sense, you know. I know I'm a deep thinker, so that's why they don't be understanding. They don't know. You know, I feel bad because I got my son circumcised. I feel like men not supposed to be circumcised. You know, I deal with that. You know, I made that decision for him, and I feel like I shouldn't have made that decision for him. So that's some shit I be going through. You know, everybody else is just like, what? You supposed to be circumcised. You supposed to be circumcised. But no. Then, you know, then I'm sitting there, you know, I feel like a circumcised penis, I feel like that shit is traumatizing women. I don't understand the point of that mushroom. I feel like that's all I can feel is that goddamn mushroom. Like, where's the shaft? You know, I mean, I don't know. All I feel is that mushroom. I feel the pressure of the head, and I just feel that mushroom just in and out. I'm just like, man, this is not what we supposed to be doing. Like, I feel like we be destroying ourselves as human beings, man. I you know, I got a lot of shit together, but at the same time, you know, I know some of the way in which that I be thinking. I know sometimes it's a little disturbing. I'm doing it to myself, because they say when you're not circumcised, you have a whole bunch of health issues. Well, before circumcision came about, motherfuckers ain't have no problems. If anything, it teaches you more self-care. You better pull that skin back and get up in there. Just like when it come to women, you know, we got to pull them lips open and we got to get in there. Child, they ain't ready. They ain't ready for it, you know. That's why people be thinking I'm so weird, because the way I be thinking. But I'm just like, man, I be considering shit motherfuckers be overlooking every day. Why the fuck these motherfuckers get to walk around with their shirt off and I can't? They got breasts too. I guess because I got titties. Well, when it come to women who got small titties, why the fuck they can't walk around with their shirt off? Whatever. 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 It's time to smoke. I feel like I feel like I'm a genius. I feel like the way that I use my genius is different. People be feeling like, you know, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I'm like, man, you can see the shit that I see, you know, the shit that I know. It's like, no. Oof. And they wonder why my spirit is so big. I've been through, you know, I feel like we all been through a lot of stuff, you know, but with me going through stuff, it's like I learn from it. I don't become ambitious to prove a point of being successful. You know what I'm saying? Of other people's form of success. In my eyes, I think I am successful. And I feel like every time I deal with this warfare, motherfuckers be showing me that more and more and more. So of course, you know, my confidence, it still remains. Cause I'm just like, I don't want to be like that. If that's, I don't want to be like that. You know, there have been really great people who have changed the world, but I'm just like, man, I appreciate it because it benefits me. It paves the way for other individuals. But fuck that. I don't want to be somebody who fucking saving the world because the world don't deserve to be saved. You know? I don't know. It really doesn't deserve to be saved. People don't care. You go into certain places, they got trash all over the fucking place. You know, when I first moved out here, you know, it was predominantly like military and it was more, you know, white people. It was more people from different countries. You know, the company sold itself and, you know, there's like a lot of, you know, there's a lot of black people moving into the neighborhood and shit. Now you see motherfuckers not cleaning up after themselves. You know, they got trash cans all around for the dogs and trash bags. Why is there so much shit on the ground? Why motherfuckers not picking up after they fucking dogs? Got all these trees, so we got a lot of squirrels. You know, squirrels can't fuck around without stepping in some shit. You know, like that shit crazy. It's so inconsiderate. You know, when you it's time to smoke. When you see the bigger picture of a lot of things, you know, you have to relax. You have to relax. I have to relax, but I had to tell you, you know, I had to explain to you like how I be thinking, how I be seeing shit. And I just be thinking, you know, he talking about, you know, I said this in the video to where he talking about he want to get me mentally evaluated. I'm just like, I study psychology. So why, even if it's some, even if there was something wrong with me, you know, I would know what they expect from that test. So how smart is that? Look at the crows. It's time to go.